Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Ink Thoughts podcast. How are you today, Andrew? I guess it hasn't been a productive day for both of us.
For you, maybe it's super. For me,
Alright.
it's not. I'm not sure about you, but yeah, for me, not really, not exactly. I mean, I woke up quite late. I mean, yesterday we slept a bit late, and then I'm feeling a bit tired. Woke up at around 8, and then cooked a breakfast. Went back to have a nap until like around 12-ish, I think. Yeah. Then now we are here finally to record our podcast because I don't know. I guess having guests on our podcast kind of mixed it up a bit as well, and then we got a bit confused on our schedule and all that. So rarely now do we have our own individual podcast. So when it comes to having it unlike back then where we schedule it every week, kind of like let's do it, do it. And then this one is like, oh no, so now we have to do this. Like, oh, can we not do this anymore? Yeah. So kind of still designing the schedule, and then still trying to make things work perfectly, especially now that I have a job. So yeah, it feels a bit tiring on weekends, like more tiring on weekends, something like that. So something I'm still trying to balance, I guess.
Yeah, it's quite often like, I mean, it's quite normal for people to feel like I want to really rest on weekends because, you know, I've been working throughout the past 5 days.
Yeah.
I deserve a rest or something.
Something like that. I guess, I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Apart from being very busy, is there anything that happened throughout your week?
This week is alright. I mean, a lot of stuff happened, but these are like more towards personal stuff, like towards my work stuff and all that. The main thing is I guess my manager my manager is leaving the company, which is a bit sad because I literally joined in the company just like 2 months ago, and then so I'm like kind of like managerless. It's still ongoing process on who I'll be reporting to, so it's a bit of ups and down, you know. Still, and then I mean there's just a lot of company stuff happening which I can't really go into detail. I guess I'm not first thing, I'm not sure if I'm able to go into detail. Second thing, I'm not so comfortable about that, but I mean it's an interesting thing whereby I get to learn a lot of things, see a lot of things. But then mainly the sad thing is that because I came to this, I got this job because of the manager. I got to know he interviewed me, we vibed along, I worked with him, learned a lot from him. But then now that he's just leaving, I was like, it's a bit sad. But other than that, it's all good stuff, you know. Mainly the beautiful thing is that now it's December. Oh my god, last week was Black Friday. We spent a lot of money shopping. I guess that's like a good or bad thing. I don't know. It's a good or bad thing. But then it's December, the season of joy, you know, lots of things happening. And then we went to Christmas market, had the ice skating day on Monday, and then what else? Yeah, we're going to go on for traveling for like next week, and then I think the Christmas week as well. That's why we have to get a podcast done today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean next week it's probably gonna snow. Yeah, I don't know why. I just keep on thinking that it's gonna rain, but then it's probably gonna snow, which is exciting. So yeah, rain's first snow in your whole life.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and then my second, not exactly second. I don't know how like, but still within 5, within 5. Like probably my third or fourth snow in the UK, something like that. So exciting to see that.
Yeah. Apart from feeling very excited for snow to start, I'm actually very worried that would it be too cold for me to go out or something, because I still have to attend classes. But never mind, let's see. For me, I'll say the week has been quite normal, other than on Thursday I had some fun time with my friends. And we just have dinner together, drink a bit, and they were going to the cocktail party, but I'm not going because I still have class the next day that I didn't want to miss my class. Then so I decided not to go, but before that I went and joined them for dinner, and because people here usually do pre-drink, so I drink a bit with them, and I know that they wanted to go to the city center for another drink session before the party, but yeah, I don't think the time is enough for me. I mean, if I join them, I just go for, I think, maybe 30 minutes, then I have to come back again. Yeah. So in the end, I decided not to go, but overall, it's a very fun night for me. Yeah. And I feel like I have friends now.
It's a bit of a funny thing. It's a bit of a funny thing. Yeah, it's a thing worth feeling happy for. Yeah, like Vereen has her own group of friends here. And, yeah, her own life here.
Yeah, so I guess it's the time for us to get into the topic itself. Actually, we recorded it last week, but both of us are just not very. Wait, I can't speak English today. Don't really like the version that we recorded last week, yeah. So here we are again with the same topic. Okay, so today we're going to talk about...
Is it better for us to be work or socially centered or focused? Yeah.
When I first tell you about this idea, yeah, I came up... I didn't came up with this idea myself. It's just from a conversation between me and my friends, and suddenly I thought, oh yeah, maybe this could be a good one for us to discuss on the podcast. Yeah. So when I first told you about this, what immediately came to your mind?
Oh, okay. First up, when I first knew about this, the title was terrible. Yeah, because I guess the inspiration for Vereen came from the inspiration is in Chinese.
Yes.
So she directly translated it. She couldn't really find a way to properly define it in English and kind of write it out, something like that. So she just put it out in Chinese, and then it was like terrible. It was like terrible. You wouldn't know what it means when you see it. But now that I see this, it's quite interesting. It makes sense whereby in life there's like few approach to it, and then like one of the key ways is like either do you want to be like work centered, where you just keep focus on producing actual results, or you want to be socially centered, where you build your life around knowing people, making friends, something like that. Yeah, basically you have like, it's kind of, you want to be a creator, or you want to be a person who socializes more, something like that. I guess I do agree that it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just talk a bit about the context that me and my friends were discussing back then. Yeah. So actually, she asked me because I think she takes someone as an example. I couldn't remember who is that, but basically it's about there's this person that can work very well on himself. Yeah, everything in terms of work, he can just do everything in a very good way. But the thing is that he don't really know how to communicate with others, especially maybe that's his superiors or his peers that is working with him. Yeah. Then we were discussing that is it more important for us to be work centered or socially centered, as in we know how to communicate with people around us. Yeah, we know how to talk to people. We know how to communicate with people. Is this more important that you can only work on yourself? Like no man is an island. We do have to interact with others. We can't really avoid it, right? Yeah. So when it comes to this, like, which one is more important? Yeah, that's the thing that we were thinking about. Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
So, for you, which one would you prefer? Or,
when you said that, it's quite interesting because like you mentioned that your friends mainly talked about like how some people just focus really on work, doing things themselves, and then they can't really. Not really good at socializing and something like that. There's this interesting thing whereby I didn't really got to know this by myself alone. So I got to know it probably through another podcast or like some other contexts as well. But then it is saying that in Japan there's a lot of all this. I guess a lot of all this you can consider them artist, creator, or all that. More focus on pottery and all that, where you can just say that they're artisan, that where they really focus on just producing things. They produce porcelains and all that, which are really in high quality in their own design, something like that. And then their whole life they dedicated themselves to that. And then they have just like how movie stars and song artists have like their managers and all that. For these artisans, they have their own managers as well, whereby these managers will help them to sell this art and then like help them to like basically make money from the things that they are doing, manage all this kind of stuff. So yeah, people actually exist. There are people that exist for this kind of people. So like being very work focused is okay, but of course whether or not either side works, like which side do you prefer? This is a very interesting question. For me, definitely I am personally more of a work focused person. I believe in doing things, putting out results, because in a certain way you can say that when you are work focused, it's more things are under your control. So whatever you do, the results come out. It's all because of whatever you do. Yeah, very simply described, something like that. So whereas if you are more socially focused, you can say that more of your results are dependent on the other party, where you socialize with, something like that. So you can say that, like, your results tend to come from other people, which doesn't say that it's bad, but just something that I don't particularly prefer, because just like many people would say that AI is a black box, human is a black box as well. You can never know what human will become, something like that. Not that we shouldn't trust humans, but then just that there's a lot more variability when it comes to like managing humans and all that kind of stuff. But when we go back to the simple example of what I said just now, when I talk about the artists, you can see that both of them possess a totally different skill, whereby this two needs to work together. Because when we talk about the artisan, basically the artisan itself is very work focused. That's why he's able to churn out very good work, and then he doesn't get influenced by what other people think. He doesn't need to think about like meeting people and all that kind of stuff, and he just focus on doing his work. And yes, whereas the manager doesn't need to care about what to do, how to make good stuff, and whereas the manager just need to think about, like, okay, what connections to get, like who needs to know all this kind of stuff, like how to best sell all this kind of stuff, what people do I need to know to sell all this kind of stuff. And then you can see that for the manager itself, of course it doesn't say that they have to be like socially centered since day one, when they are out in the industry. But then it can say that you can see that pretty much their work is around socially centered, and then it will encourage them to be, if they are socially centered since day one, it's very likely that they will be a lot more successful in this role. So through this full example, you can see that either starting from either one, it does produce result, and then eventually this full example also show that you do need to have both the work-centered aspect and then the both social-centered aspect to be able to make something work out so well. But at the same time, it also show that it is possible to focus on either work-centered or social-centered, and then there are ways for you to just create value to someone or something eventually. Something like that.
Yeah, I like your idea of like human is a black box. You'll never know, yeah. That's why creative stuff keep coming out, or else everything is expected, right? Yeah, for me, I'll say I'm more inclined to work centered as well. Maybe because I'm not a social butterfly. I'm very introvert. So wait, I thought of one question just now. So when you say you are more towards the work-centered part, right? How much would you say that you are utilizing the social connection that you have?
Okay,
because for me, not for me. I mean, I think it in a way that because we are more inclined towards one side, the idea of the other part, most of the time it doesn't come immediately to our mind when we need to do something. You get what I mean? Because we are so focused on one stuff that sometimes something else just couldn't come to your mind so easily. Yeah. So sometimes we have to actively think about something else that, oh yeah, we have this, maybe this could be helpful or something.
So you said, how am I managing my social connections and all that?
Yep.
Okay, so this is a very interesting question, I guess. Social connections. I mean, because I do know, I guess there are different parts of my life whereby I've been, or I'm also very introverted person, and then I do things mainly by myself. But then, I guess different experiences in different parts of your life gives you different perspective, new ideas, and then you see things differently. And I guess mainly around possibly like I think high school, university, around that area, you kind of figure out that, okay, so making connections is kind of important. It opens up your worldview. It connects you to different parts of your life that you previously cannot go to. So it is something new and helpful. That's why I did start making social connections, and I guess during university that is more how do I say it? That becomes more I'm more active in that regards. So yes, I do make more social connection, trying to help utilize all this social connection to help in what I do, try to promote it. That's where I I went to entrepreneurship and all this kind of stuff. You need to know people, you need to have ideas, and you need to know people at the same time. So you kind of need to have this both of this stuff. But I am not someone who would purposely go directly into how do I say it? Like I won't go directly into a field and then try to grab all the harvest everything I can get. So I won't go directly into an event and then just trying to get as much connections as I get. On the other hand, what I prefer is that I target the few which I do think that they will help out a lot more, and then I exploit, not like I would say the previous method is like exploration, and then this is more exploitation, where you have a deeper objective and then you go ahead and aim to get that objective directly, instead of like trying to figure out things. I kind of know what I want and then I aim to get that thing which I want, something like that. So that's like kind of like my approach into doing things. So but if you talk about how do I maintain all of them, maintaining that is the thing which I actually don't like purposely have like what they call customer relationship management, something like that, CRM they call that. Some people have that, like even I mean like mainly from Not Overthinking podcast. I know that Ali and Timo, they're discussing about having this thing. So like how often should you kind of like renew your relationship with your friends or like all the people you know. I don't have that. I do them casually. So like connecting through social media occasionally, just like when things just pops up which kind of makes sense, replies, comments, something like that. I don't actively go and manage it. Yeah, at least that's how I do it. You can kind of say that I will only go to them when I need them, or like they come to me when they need me, something like this. I guess that's my way of doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's basically, I would say that there's no active method of managing all this social connection. I'll just we know each other, so we know each other, and then I guess if we have further interest that can develop into more personal relationship, then that's good. But if no, or we'll just maintain it this way, whereby we'll contact each other when there's in need, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. When you say I already think kind of like started during your high school years and more during university time. To be honest, the very beginning that I got to know you, it's in our university time that I've always thought that you're an extrovert until I know you a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of like a natural thing for you to, talk to people and everything. You actually did it very well.
I guess the way, yeah, this is what this kind. I guess this kind of just shows one thing, where everyone don't really care how you present yourself. Everyone just care about how people think of them presenting themselves. So usually when you're able to present yourself somewhere, you're actually doing quite well. Yeah, or at least just a few tries, you will feel that you're quite well. It's just yourself that kind of compare yourself to others, and then you think that you're not doing good enough. But on how I do that, I guess the main thing is that I try to make, because I try to make the other party comfortable. Yeah, that's like a main thing in like making relationship, something like that, getting to know people, something like that. So trying to make the other party comfortable. But yeah, I don't know. Yes. I'm glad to know that. Sounds that it comes naturally and all that, but it actually don't. Yeah, it actually don't at all. I just try to build good relationship. Everyone is okay. Trying to make everyone comfortable, but I guess that's it. Yeah, I won't. If you like, if you know me personally, I'm very quiet, and I prefer having my quiet time most of the time. Just like sitting there. I'm more of a thinker than a person that goes around talking to other people. Yeah, I would really love to have my personal time sitting there, just figuring out stuff.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, like for me, when I think back, is there any like kind of like example of stuff that I have to go out there and talk to people just to get things done? Yeah, I guess it's something very important when it comes to work or anything. Not most of the time you're not just working on the stuff alone. You have to still go on and talk to people, and sometimes there's even strangers or so. When I think back, I guess maybe during university time, when I was the president, there were times that I have to go and approach different society's president or anything to communicate with them to make sure things work, or for some collaboration that I don't even know who they are. They don't even know who am I. Yeah. So I guess sometimes it's the skill that you have to develop. It's okay that you're an introvert, that you don't really go out that much to social with people. You're not a social butterfly. That's fine. Just that you have to learn how to talk to people that makes both of you comfortable. Firstly, to make both of you comfortable, that you can continue talking about those more important stuff to lead to maybe a more successful outcome or something. Yeah.
I personally don't agree with that, because whatever you said, it sounds like you are being very conservative, where you say that you have to learn how to do something before doing something. That is something which I totally disagree. Instead, like my approach, of course, we are constantly afraid. We try to prepare everything, but preparing doesn't help. There is an extent where you just have to stop preparing and then just go out and do things, because there's just so many things that are definitely out of your knowledge, out of your control. And instead of like your approach where you try to talk to other people and try to make sure that other people comfortable, it's better to just, the most important thing, whether work focused or socially focused, I personally believe, is that you just have to go on and take action. That is the main thing that you have to do. Like many things that I've done is just blindly taking action, and then from that you reflect, or either you ask the other party, you learn from the other party how they think of your actions and all that. Through this, you actually learn a lot more than just blindly try to prepare for something that might not even happen. Yeah, something like that. So definitely, nothing wrong with what you say, but I totally disagree on that, because it just, first thing first, many things you just don't know whether it will happen or not. You don't know where it will lead to, and you're just wasting too much time preparing. Yeah, of course, it doesn't say I'm not saying that you don't have to prepare. That is totally, I'll say, that's a terrible thing to do, because there is a certain extent where some things you know that are most likely to happen. You have to prepare it, but then you can't just spend the whole time sitting there, trying to prepare for everything just to make things right. It's impossible. It's better to fix things instead, learn to be able to accept mistakes and fix things instead of trying to make things absolutely right. So definitely just my advice for whether work socially focused, you are socially focused people, I trust that they don't just born with this skill. They learn through mistakes. They hit the wall. They had terrible conversations. They said something wrong, something like that, and then they only reach until the stage where they are successful and they did everything right, something like that. So yeah, I personally think that just do it instead of like trying to learn things and then trying to do it right. Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't deny that I'm more a conservative person. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I still have the fear in me, but maybe I didn't make myself clear enough just now that when I say learn, it at the same time also means that through the multiple exposure of talking to people, you learn how to talk to people. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. Yeah, yeah, but I wouldn't deny that compared to you or many people out there, I'm still more of a conservative person. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when like we have like what we have discussed just now, like why do you think like either part would be like important to
Of course, through like my whole analysis just now, it kind of shows that neither part is more important. But personally, for me, I just think that creating is more important. Spend too much time socializing. Doesn't say that. Just my own opinion is that spending time socializing doesn't yield much results, because sometimes doesn't seem. I'm not saying that human doesn't need entertainment, doesn't need fun and all that, but mainly socializing is just, instead of producing genuine value or results, something like that, it's sometimes just pure entertainment, pure fun, or sometimes it yields zero value at all. Like, that's why for me, instead of trying to go for the exploration route for my social aspect, I go for exploitation route, where I am planning to get things out of something, someone or something. Yeah, because whereas if you usually when you try to do things, they tend to lead to some you create value. You basically create value, because I guess there's just too much things that you have to go through when interacting with a person. That's my own personal opinion as an introvert, possibly. When you interact with someone, there's just too many things that you have to go through to smooth out the whole relationship until you can get a value. So throughout that process is important. But then if you spend too much time with too many people, mainly focusing on that process, it just yields very few results. It wasted, like, a lot of energy are wasted in that. So instead of doing that, personally, I just prefer to do things, create things, and at least I know that something is gonna get produced, or whether through that I'm gonna learn that, okay, this doesn't work or something. So that is why I prefer like going for the work focus route. Yeah, possibly there's like definitely for like social focus route, there's like maybe I'm seeing some my perspective is a lot narrower. That's why I'm missing out a lot of stuff. Or perhaps feel free to comment below, or even we can invite you on this chat. But just for me, I just think that things are wasted. So instead of just doing that exploration route, I would rather I spend more time working, and then of course social needs are still important in doing things. So I would focus on which can possibly yield the most result, and then I go for it, instead of trying to tap everyone's shoulder and get to know everyone, and in the end yield very few results in the end.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, and if let's say we put it as a spectrum kind of stuff, like maybe on the left it's work centered and on the right it's social centered. And so at first I was thinking that maybe we should, have both the skill and kind of like be in the middle, that we can go both sides whenever needed, depending on the situation and all. But like what you've been saying, like it's more important to produce work, produce outcomes and all. Would you say you think that general populations should be skewed towards one side, or it is okay for everyone to be in the middle? Or of course that there are outliers that would be at either end, but for general population, should we be in the middle or should we skew towards either side?
Okay. I would say for general population, it's more important to be instead of spectrum. I would say like in percentage wise, I guess 70% work, 30% social is kind of around there. It's like the best, because what I think is that each of us are individual, special, and then creativity, as you said, that's why that makes us that's another reason that makes us another black box as well. So that's why we should that's why we should spend more time doing things, because when you spend time socializing, I guess for me at least, what I can think of now is that socializing, the main outcome from socializing is the communication. So it's the information sharing, it's or even like information mixing, information generation from two individual making into something new. But that's it. There's not much stuff that is coming out of it. So there is a limit on how much, how do I say it? So without working, you will have nothing to share about.
Okay, true.
And so in my perspective is that if you just if you don't do enough stuff, you have nothing to talk about, to social about, and then that's why there will be no results from the social part. So that's why we should basically, that kind of shows why we should spend more time doing things, because once you do more stuff and then you have more things to socialize about, communicate about, and then from that, it's whatever you do plus whatever others do that can yield more new ideas. So if you did nothing in the beginning, it just nothing just happened. That's why even initially I said the artisan definitely needs a manager to pass on the information. But without the artisan, the manager is worth not exactly worthless, but then basically no value comes out from that. But then if the artisan doesn't share things out as well, the value is always just locked within, and then you lose the chance of exploring new ideas by combining, by sharing, by generating new ideas through whatever you have. But then fundamentally, I think that you have to do things first. That's how you are able to talk about it and then find new things.
Okay,
that's why I think 70-30 is around the right balance. I think 50-50, it's still you just spend too much time communicating and all that.
I really like your idea of you have to have something first and then go and social with people, instead of you have nothing in your brain and you just go out there and you're just talking nonsense already. So or even people just don't want to talk to you because they couldn't get anything from you as well. Okay, I also 50-50 might be a bit mediocre,
I think I don't know, 50 just too much just too much communication where you have to have things to talk about. So
true.
I the main thing for me is that I don't like talking about genuinely nonsense like topics and all that. So I like to when we talk about stuff, we think about it as well. We think about it as well. That's what I prefer. That's why I have this 70-30% approach.
Just now when you are talking about that idea, something just came to my mind that I think sometimes it is maybe important for us to think about the reason or the aim that we are socializing. Yes, socializing is important, but when you're socializing with maybe this group and with another group, sometimes there there might be different goals or aims that you're trying to achieve. Yeah, if you understand what's the target or what's the thing that you want to get out from there, then you usually will automatically know how much should you put in effort and time. If you just generally think that I should go out and socialize with people, then you definitely spend a lot more time that you initially thought you will have to. Because you just don't have that kind of like fine line to tell you when it's about time to stop. Usually if, let's say, and I guess really successful people, they socialize with each other within a specific time frame. They know about 2 hours is almost that for us to for this for this catch up session, and we shall continue the next one because around there we are almost there. Right.
Yeah, I agree. I mean I personally agree with what Vern said, but I guess to a certain extent that definitely for me, I won't do that to just like going on the exploration route, just try to make connections, like hit each other's shoulder as much as hit as much people's shoulder as possible, just try to get to know them, because eventually I don't know how, who do I need to get value out of. But I guess for certain, I'm not sure, because I'm totally not in this industry and I'm totally not buying into this idea. So for people like those managers and all that, I guess it kind of works for them. But definitely for me, it just doesn't work for me. So in my opinion, I totally agree with Vereen. But I guess for some people, if you know how that works, feel free to comment below. But I'm just wondering, having the objective, it's still better than just trying to stash a bunch of you wouldn't try to stash everything in your house just so that one day you use it, right? So that's kind of the idea that I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Just now when you say for those artist manager, it's very, very normal for them to just go out and try to make as much connection as possible so that they can get the resources for their artist or whatsoever. Just now I just thought of for the other people like us, can we say LinkedIn is another way of of doing this in a virtual way?
Yeah, you can. Right. You can say it that way. You can say it that way because previously I'm not that I'm against this, but I see this as a different way. Because previously I think that having social media connections isn't exactly connections. It's fake. It's ingenuine. It's not genuine at all. It's just surface level. I guess it depends on how you do it. It can be genuine as well, and of course, I guess there is a problem whereby social media, we kind of present our best things, the best part of ourselves. But then, depending on how the conversation go, you can message them. You can get something out of it. You can get something out of it. I do believe that you can get something out of it. Just that it's how you do it. Definitely, because we shouldn't just limit ourselves to meet people physically and then having meet in a cafe or something. Now, calling, video calling, all this is we're in a new era where we should accept that this is possible. Just we have to try it out and then see the best way to get the value that we want. Something like that.
Yeah, because on LinkedIn, I don't usually spend that much of time scrolling through LinkedIn, but once in a while when I go into it, and I would see some people, they are generally that they are really building their stuff on LinkedIn and try to message different people and try to get something maybe connection or some knowledge or some sharing stuff. But apart from those recruiters, maybe it's their job, that's why they have to be more active on it. But some people, they are really just doing it for themselves. They just want to get connection and all through LinkedIn. And I guess that's another way of socializing, because although you are not really talking to people, but you still have to make up sentences and send it to others. If you do it in the right rude way or what, then you might even lost more than you could have connected or
I mean, there's just like definitely like using words is a bit weird. It's a bit hard to convey your exact meaning, but you can always translate it eventually into a video call or something like that, yeah, which will work better, I believe.
Yeah, and if you really found someone that you want to know more, I guess people nowadays are more comfortable to, go do video calls or everything since the pandemic started. Yeah, so I guess most of them might be pretty okay with, doing one with you.
Yeah.
As long as you ask them. Yeah, I guess one thing that I learned from our decision of inviting guests onto our podcast is just go out and try and message them. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, they usually say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not interested," or "I'm not very comfortable." Yeah, that's nothing wrong.
Yeah, basically like the decision, it's your decision whether you want to invite them, and then it's not your decision on whether they want to come or not. You make the decision that you want to invite them, but then it's their decision on whether they want to like join you or not. So you don't need to think about whether they want to join you or not. Just go ahead and invite them. If they want, if they don't want, they'll tell you. If they want, they'll tell you as well. Yeah, that's up to them.
Yeah, true.
Don't think about that.
And I guess we so far we've been doing all this through social medias.
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
It's a useful tool. Yeah. So initially, I have a question. I prepared that, which is which skills should we work on if let's say we don't have both at the beginning? But I guess from what you have been saying just now, you might prefer to be work focused more, right? To start if you have nothing at all.
Because the thing is, I don't think it's necessary to like go ahead and just go out and just make friends. Because when I guess it's more important to do what you like, unless it happens that you really like making friends, which is another topic which I can't. I'm not a expert at. Yeah, so personally, I'll just say that go do whatever you like, you enjoy. And then while you're doing this, you have questions, you try to find people that are like-minded or others, then you start making friends that you want to know how to do this. So that's where you will find, you learn to be, you kind of get the social part. Then perhaps from that, you will develop into the socially focused way or something. It's possible, but I just think that, knowing people doesn't really shine. For a certain aspect, it does shine as a great skill, but I think that it's not that special. It's not that special. Like, I feel like everyone with enough training can do that. But creating something yourself, that is something that is genuine. That is something that is you yourself. Yeah, that is something that can't be taken away. Personally, I think that. So I think that it's better for you to just do whatever you like, and then eventually you will reach a point where you will need to have a bit of the social aspect on whatever work you do, and then from that part you can see whether you want to continue to be work focused or socially focused. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the thing is that like sometimes if we focus too much on social aspect, just like the very early example where I said that your result depends on the other parties. And then if you start with the social aspect first and then you want to turn into going into the work aspect, because your life, your values have been surrounded by all the people around you. If they discourage you, they disagree with the thing that you're doing, you might get affected, and then it makes it harder for you to start going on your work, on whatever work that you're doing. That's the thing. Yeah. So personally, I just think that do things first, and then you will start meeting people, knowing people, and then this is probably a better way to progress into whatever you want to do instead of knowing people first, then only do things.
Yeah, I think there's this point that is worth emphasizing, is that no matter you are more towards work centered or socially centered, it's important for you to reflect on whatever you do. Yeah, through reflection, you will know where to improve. Then you can slowly build up both actually. You don't have to just work on one. Just that, sometimes we just couldn't really multitask at the very beginning, but slowly we can do both. Just that we have to make sure that we reflect on whatever that we are doing, then slowly we can build both. Yeah. Just that how much do you want to have it in your life, and yeah. Okay. I just thought of one question that I asked you last week. Okay. If let's say now you are a manager, then these two fresh grads came and applied for the job. Then this person A, he can produce very, very good work, but he don't really know how to communicate with team members, with even you as his manager. He have a very huge problem of communicating, but he can produce very good work. But for this person B, he can do work, just that not as good as this person A. He can do work, but he can communicate well with people around him, including you as his manager. Which would you prefer to take in if you have to?
So you say that either it's 100% on the spectrum, they're 100% work, 100% social. Would you say that way?
Maybe for a person B is he has 30% of the work part. Yeah, but yeah, not as good as
But what about the work? But the person A.
Also okay, no, 30%, and then it match what you want.
Choose
I know, right? Yeah. Okay, maybe person A, 90% work, 10%
social.
Yeah, then person B, 30% work, 70% social.
Okay, interesting. I mean, it's hard to answer your question because there's too many variables that come into this. One thing is that are we what work is he doing? Is this work important for is it a very team? Is it a very team focused work, or is it just like something that can be done by an individual? And of course, whether in what department, or is it the first employee of the department, or is it the subsequent one? So there are many that affect this one, and of course I guess the one main thing which I care about is the willingness for them to learn. That's another thing, because you can say that they begin with this point, but whether how much they want to learn, that's another factor. If I personally, of course, would prefer the one that can work well with the team. But then if that individual doesn't want to learn at all, isn't that, or even if he isn't that good at learning, I wouldn't want him as well. So that's just too many aspects into this. Yeah, so I can't really give an answer. I would say, yeah.
Oh, okay. If let's say it's a job that requires teamwork, you would somehow prefer the second one, is it?
I would say that
when both of them have the willingness to learn.
I would say that in a job that has teamwork, I would say I prefer the latter. Yeah, I prefer the latter. Yeah, but of course it's still many factors comes into it. Yeah, it's hard to define just who do I prefer, because just when I earlier, I think a few months earlier when we talked about when I'm still searching for a job and something like that. One key thing when they talk about in career talk is that don't get too upset when you get a rejection for your job, because the thing is sometimes there's just too many factors that companies look into when they're hiring people. Sometimes it's either this will can get the job, but then if sometimes the team really does prefer someone that is really work focused or socially focused, or sometimes the team just has too much socially focused people that they just need work focused people, or sometimes they just have too many work focused people that they need someone to bond the team, something like that. So it's really hard to just say which do we prefer. But personally, if you were to start from ground up doing something, I prefer you to start with work focus. That can usually yield a better results. Of course you need to have the willingness to learn.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I guess sometimes when we get rejection, job rejection or what, we just take it too personally, like you criticize yourself that much. Yeah, sometimes you forget that actually, maybe they want both of you very badly, but they just have one vacancy they can fit. Yeah, so they have to somehow work using certain criteria that, maybe that's just not your problem, but you criticize yourself too much. Of course, when you got rejection, reflect on your performance, that's important, but you have to do it rationally. Don't over criticize yourself until you lost your confidence in applying for the next one. Then I guess that's no point doing that, Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Then I think I haven't really talked much about my perspective. I'll say I also prefer work-centered a bit more compared to socially centered, because I do value that, you have the ability to do stuff instead of you just, for me personally, I couldn't see myself having nothing in my mind and go out and just keep on talking to people with nothing. Yeah, I want myself to have something. Yeah, that's why I'll say I'm also more towards the work-centered part when I compare this two. Yeah. So I guess both of us kind of like agree to it, like for ourselves, we preferred work-centered. Yeah, but don't. But yeah, it's totally okay if you're more towards that side, as long as you know what you want.
And we're actually very interested in if you happen to towards the other side, then feel free to drop a message, something like that. We would love to have you on the pod, maybe discuss about this topic again.
Yeah. If you're shy, we can just text as well. We just really want to know what was the other side perspective, because we are we kind of like biased towards one side.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Then is there anything else that you'd like to add on for this topic?
Nope, not really.
Yeah, then I guess that's all from us today for this topic. Is there any insight for you this week?
Insights. Nope, I can't think of it. I'm really lacking of insights recently. Yeah.
Me, me too. Yeah. Okay, then I guess that's the end for this episode. Thank you everyone for listening. And if you do have any comments or anything that you'd like to tell us, feel free to drop us a message or email us, or any social media will do. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye. And I'm really hungry now. Let's go for lunch. It's like 2:44 and then I haven't had lunch yet. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.